In spite of the crisis, U.S.-Ukraine Business Council introduced 106 member recently. Does this mean that the investment community still has faith in Ukraine?
Most of the investment business community does have faith in Ukraine. Why do they have faith in Ukraine? Ukraine's a large country, sits in a very critical place. There's 46 to 47 million people there. It's the largest emerging market in Europe. Nobody wants to be left out of that market. No one wants to leave that market. So in our getting in touch with most of our members, they're not leaving Ukraine. They're making some adjustments, of course, but they want to be there 10 years from now. They want to be there 15 years from now. They want to be 20 years in Ukraine. Some of our companies have their sales are only down 10% actually, some of the consumer goods companies. And so most of them are saying, yeah, this is a tough crisis, but we're going to find a way to survive, and we're going to stay here. Some of the investors that were just there in real estate, it's going to be a while before they came back. Some of the present investors, they're going to wait a little while longer and see how this washes out. But they're sitting on the sidelines. Values are going to go down. There's going to be some good bargains there, some good properties and businesses to buy before too long. So our members are very bullish on Ukraine. They're staying in Ukraine, and they're going to ride this out and expand in the future.
What kind of lessons should Ukraine and the rest of the world learn from this crisis?
Well, hopefully the United States and some of the markets in Europe will put in some new controls on some of these fancy financial instruments and try to make some of the underlying causes not happen again that rolled over Ukraine. Ukraine itself has got to learn how to manage the value of its money, because they kind of mismanaged that the last few years, which caused a problem. They've got to keep inflation under control. They've got to bring about a better and easier business environment to attract more investment. So Ukraine just needs to do what a normal country does in terms of sound economic policy, keep their budget under control, keep inflation under control, and pass some reforms that they still need to pass. They need private agricultural land. They need an economic code. They need to improve their customs service. There's a lot of things that they can do. So Ukraine just needs to keep moving forward. And luckily, because of their size and their location and their population, investors want to come to Ukraine. So Ukraine's got to learn not to be quite so vulnerable, not to get things quite so far out of line. Then when something hits, they really took a fall. But Ukraine knows what to do. There's been all kinds of reports, just another one in Kiev when I was there the other day. There's all kinds of reports which roll out what they need to do. It's just a matter of getting the bureaucracy to do it, getting the political will to do it, get someone to focus on it, get the RADA to focus on it. So they know what to do. We need implementers. We need people who will take it seriously, because the middle class of Ukraine is very important to the future. They're taking a major hit here. Some of them are losing their jobs, incomes are down, they borrowed money at hard currency, getting paid in hryvnia. So we got to soften the blow as much as we can for the middle class, the future of Ukraine.
And my last question about U.S. Ukraine business relations. With the new administration now making 100 days, Obama administration making 100 days in office, how do you see the future development of U.S.-Ukraine trade and business relations?
Well, the biggest problem between U.S. and Ukraine trade right now is this overseas private investment corporation problem, which we hope will be solved. Mm-hmm. We still have some tariffs left over from the Soviet days and the Ukraine government monopoly days, which need to be lowered. And the Obama administration, of course, says that they're still going to be very much supportive of Ukraine. They say Ukraine's not going to be a victim of their resetting the button with Russia. And there's a high-level U.S. delegation in Ukraine today as we speak. A top official from the State Department, the National Security Council, the U.S. Treasury, and the Economic Department at the White House. 4 people out there right now doing their own assessment and carrying the message. And of course, as you know, the Secretary of the National Security Council from Ukraine was here. The Vice Prime Minister was here last week, the head of the National Bank, some people from the Ministry of Finance. So these movements of top people back and forth are taking place very rapidly here under the new administration. So we look forward to very good continuing relations between the United States and Ukraine, particularly in the business area, as Ukraine's got to continue to develop their economy, their businesses. That brings jobs, that brings income. That's needed for democracy. That's needed for the future of Ukraine. Get their business development engine back on track.
Thank you so much. Thank you.